All right. Shalom Yashala. Call halal Yahal Bashim Yasha. Yahal Bashim Yasha. Wahara Kakodash Brakatham. I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Akyam pushing this truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Aquat that they're listening. What I'd like to go into with this lesson is more so just pertaining to the fact that, hey, we all catching hell and we're going to catch it. But guess what? We're going to catch it together, right? I know brothers, we all understand working out our own salvation. A matter of fact, let me get to that. Bear me, Baba Shah. Let me see. This is Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, right? And that's what we should all be doing. We get that, and it's a group effort, it's a collective, but it's also going to have its elements of singular as well. It's a plural thing. Okay, it's a plural, and I mean that with collectively, right? But singular, you're gonna have to work out your own salvation. A brother can't have faith for you. A brother can't do the work for you. You're gonna have to do that for yourself. But guess what? We acknowledge one another's struggles and so forth. That's why we're a body, man. We're here to help. Help one another, man. And that's the beauty and that's the constellation for us in Babylon, man. As being brotherly as possible. And as being a true friend in this truth, man. But you definitely, which we all understand, or especially for younger brothers or who's coming into this thing, and sisters who are listening, it's just it's something you're gonna have to persuade yourself of. I can't make you believe Yahushua is coming back for the elect. I can't make you believe that. I believe it. The apostles, bishops, and elders, the brothers I'm brothers that I see on a daily basis, interact with, talk to, text, call, hey, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, I believe they believe. So, that's really a common denominator when in this truth, man. Do you believe, man? Because if you don't believe, it's like, hey, you got to figure it out. But also in this journey and figuring out, you don't have to do it by yourself. So that's the constellation that we have here. And, and once again, I'm going to keep reiterating, we got things singularly we can work on, but collectively, brothers can help one another. That's what we're here for, man. And it's truly a blessing, to be a part of the body. This is verse 13. For it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will and to do good. Oh, Salaki, I'm tripping. Back in verse 13. For it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. What do you think that good pleasure is? Doing the work, being brotherly, man, being an example, man. It's really it's a lot of things going on in the world, man, and that firmness of the body, kind of like how you work out. Hey, we're working out, we're getting what? Firm, we're getting tone. You know what I'm saying? We're building up that muscle memory, man. So we know what to do, because anytime a brother's in dire straits, and needs help, we're here to assist, right? Hey, when we pray, does not the Lord answer our prayers, Akyam? The Most High ain't never did nothing to us, man. The Lord has been nothing but fair, more than fair, to be quite honest with you. Yahweh Shem Yahshua has been nothing but fair and more than fair than he has to be, man. So call halal Yahweh Shem Yahshua for that. This is Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Okay? So adversity is going to all come our way in different shapes and forms. You know, we all have our own path, right? You know, so it's us and it's not a slippery slope. You only make it a slippery slope if you're not being transparent with brothers. You know, it was always just said to us, man. When something arises early on, it's like a cancer, right? When they catch a cancer early, I think it's a high 90 percentile rate of killing it, right? I think it's a pretty high, like when you can catch something early on before it but before it grows, before it increases, you have a high success rate, you know. And I use that analogy because, bro, if you don't catch the cancer, then it just creates bigger problems. You know, so why, let things linger around, you know? Do brothers need to know your every move? Of course not. You as a man in the faith of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, you have to handle your own business. Like I said, bros can't live for you, but hey, we could guide one another along the way. You know, we could be a friend, we could be a shoulder to lean on, you know. And like we always say, man, every counsel ain't a bad counsel. Hell, counsels need to be had. Hey, brother, this and that and so forth. Just tighten up here and there. Or, hey, brother, man, keep rocking, bro. I see you moving, bro. I see you elevating. You know what I'm saying? You know, exhorting brothers and counsel is very much so needed, man. You know, there's no reason to, suffer in this truth. You know, that hell, we've suffered enough in the world before coming into Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You know, before Salakia, let me rephrase that. Before being awakened by Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Okay, we suffered enough, man. Okay, so there's no reason for you to be suffering while amongst the body, you know. Let me reread that again. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Okay? Hey, man, bro's gonna get on bro's nerves from time to time. You may disagree on something, but hey, that's a level of adversity. What we gonna start doing? Just cutting one another off? No, of course not. You know, bro, just gonna disagree. You know, just some brothers, agree to disagree, and that's quite normal, man. But we all agree on what? Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Okay, we agree. Hey, Yahweh Shah gonna come back and get his lick back, and the elect is gonna be beamed up. We know Babylon the Great is America. We also believe, hey, we're the lost 12 tribes of Israel. You know, we all agree. We agree on important things. Agree to disagree is maybe something else. Hey, some brothers prefer this and that. Like, bro, something that if it can't get you destroyed and doesn't affect your doing the work and affecting the body, you good money, bro. You know, I'm talking, dire straits, man. Okay. Bros catching hell. We all catching hell. Some bros catching more hell than others, like, and that's something, the Lord is speaking to you through that brother's journey, right? And how our faith is being tested, you know? Let me read that again and move on. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Okay? Get first. What's First Peter? I'll start at verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Verse 9. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Okay. So there's brothers and sisters who's catching hell, man. We're not catching, we're not, um, you have it to where a brother, his hell may not be visible to y'all, but hey, brothers be going through it, man. There's physical receipts, spiritual receipts, but everybody's catching hell, man. Some shape, form, or fashion, right? Let me read that again. Verse 9. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So everybody's catching hell. It's all how we fight through that hell that matters, man, and be supportive of one another, man. Being a friend, because a friend is truly needed. Look how people are in this world today, man. You got people literally on social media asking for friends. Coming to this truth, we weren't asking for friends. This is a spiritual awakening, man, of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You got people literally on social media asking for friends. Hey, I want to meet up. Bro, this place is through. Only thing that ain't through is Yahweh Shem Yahshua. That's forever going to remain supreme. So while we here, Akyam, utilize it, and take advantage of it, man. Take advantage of healing. Take advantage of salvation, bro. Take advantage of it. Because 2/3 of our people don't have that. They got, they got demons on them, and we're fighting demons. So it's like, but hey, at least we know we ain't got to do it alone. They don't have that. People out here bug the hell out, man. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 8. For we would not, brethren, have you ignorant of our trouble which came to us in Asia, that we were pressed out of measure above strength, insomuch that we despaired even of life. Verse 9. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in the Most High, which raiseth the dead. Okay, having that faith, man. Having that faith, because bros is catching hell, man. Of course, you just had those moments, man. I just, you're not tripping if you go to the spirit world. But hey, guess what? I want to see this place go down. I want to see bros get beamed up. Of course, I'd love to be beamed up, but hey, this is a team. Hey, once again, it's a team effort. You got singular things we gotta work out. First and foremost, our salvation, right? Got to make sure we tight. But at the same time, it's a balance. And what a false balance is an abomination to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, right? So, you could walk and chew gum, you could, work out your salvation and also be in hopes of other brothers working out their own salvation. Verse 10, who delivered us from so great a death and doeth deliver, in whom we trust that he will yet deliver us. Okay. So we have to understand, man. Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man, is moving through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Let me read verse 10 again. Who delivered us from so great a death and doeth deliver, in whom we trust that he will yet deliver us. Okay. Verse 11. Ye also helping together by prayer for us, that for the gift bestowed upon us by the means of many persons, thanks may be given by many on our behalf. Okay. So Yahweh Shah, man, Yahweh Shah is the way, right? Okay, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is the way, man. By that common denominator, by us being all agreed on that, That's what keeps the bond strong as well, man. You know, we have to believe that Yahushua HaMashiach is gonna heal our brothers who are catching hell, man. And I believe so. I believe it. 100%. I ain't 99%. I 1,000% believe Yahushua HaMashiach is gonna heal brothers and deliver brothers before the world to see. If not for the world to see, at least before our eyes. Okay. Because we have to understand, man, we about to see some beautiful miracles, you know. And we believe that. But, you know, we just got to be there for one another, keep our faith strong, keep our medicine strong, and we're going to be all right, you know. Because Yahushua HaMashiach is coming back for the elect. Point blank period. Okay. You know, because this place has definitely become too much, man. And this place is not a badge of honor how some Jake make it to be. You know, I'm grinding this and that. Like, bro, it's through here, man. Okay? It's through here. You know? And it's crazy people turn these cameras on and then, you know, but say, some people just letting it hang out though. When people turn them cameras on, start crying, like, look, I'm catching hell. They letting you know the skinny. Ain't no future in they fronting with that, man. You know, you got some people who ain't even faking the funk, like, man, I'm catching hell. Man, we're all catching hell, man. You know? But the only thing that keeps us going is Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You know, we're all catching it, but we believe we're gonna be all right. Okay, this is Galatians chapter 6, starting at verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. You know, gotta, you know, restore. We gotta, you know, build brothers up, exhort. You know, keep brothers, you know, confident through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You know, because this place will beat you down, man. You're feeling hopeless, but hey, bro, we need all that. Okay, we need confidence in Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Okay, let me read verse 1 again in its entirety. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. All right. Verse 2, be ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Hamashiach. Okay. We in this together, man. We're gonna catch hell together, and we're gonna get blessings together, you know. So just remember that, Akyam. Everybody's catching hell, you know. Every brother's hell looks different, man. But we're gonna be all right. Okay. But that's all I have on this. Abaratazah, this is edifying for the body. So once again with that, call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, Waharakodash Brakatham. Once again, I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to the select number of Akyam pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Akwat out there listening. Shalom. No. How is Shakudar the Rathers out of work? How is Shakudar the Rathers out of work? How is Shakudar the Rathers out of work? Babu Kusha, Barakataya Hawa, Barakataya Hawa, Barakataya Hawa, Wadi Hashamasha, Shalom. The fuck you doing, bro?